Hello dear students, today we are going to revise chapter 8 Motion. What is motion? When an object is changing its position with respect to an observer, we say the object is in motion. But this motion term is very respective term. So we need to define a reference point or reference frame because one object may seems to be moving for one observer and may seems to be stationary to another observer. For example, when a passenger is inside the bus, for him the other passenger is at rest, whereas the observer who is outside the bus, both the passengers are in motion. So we need to define an observation point as a reference point, or we should always have a common reference frame. Now distance. The total length of the path covered by the body is called distance. The actual length of the path covered by the body is called distance. It has no direction. An SI unit of distance is meter. Since it has no direction, it is a scalar quantity. Displacement. Displacement is a vector quantity. It is the shortest distance between the initial and the final point. Here, to describe displacement, we need magnitude as well as direction. So it is called vector quantity. You can understand distance and displacement with the help of this diagram. Here, the purple color line is showing the actual path covered by the body, and that is the distance. And here the green color dotted line is representing the shortest distance between the initial and the final point, which is the displacement. Now I am saying scalar quantities and vector quantity. What are they? All the physical quantities are divided into two groups, scalar quantities and vector quantity. Scalar quantities are those quantities which to describe them we need only the magnitude. Here the direction is not important, and like time, distance, mass, temperature, etc. Now vector quantities are those quantities which require magnitude as well as direction both to describe these quantities. For example, displacement, velocity, weight, etc. Now speed. You have already studied speed is equals to distance upon time. This is actually the rate of change of distance. So speed is a scalar quantity because distance is also a scalar quantity. Speed is equals to distance upon time. So speed is a scalar quantity. But for the whole journey, the speed is not constant. Suppose we are moving from our home to our school. Here the speed is changing time to time. So here we need to define an average speed. An average speed is total distance traveled by total time taken. Uniform and non-uniform motion. Uniform motion. Uniform means the velocity is constant throughout. So uniform motion means when the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time. It is called uniform motion. And when the object is covering unequal distance in equal interval of time, it is said to be non-uniform motion. Now velocity. Velocity is rate of change of displacement. Velocity is displacement upon time. So it is a vector quantity as displacement is a vector quantity. So to describe velocity, we need both magnitude as well as direction. But the unit of velocity is same as the unit of speed. And SI unit of speed is meter per second. So SI unit of velocity is also meter per second. Now average velocity is initial velocity plus final velocity divided by 2. We denote initial velocity with u and final velocity by v. So u plus v by 2 is the formula for average velocity. Now acceleration. This term acceleration is rate of change of velocity. Here change in velocity per unit time is called acceleration. It is denoted by small a. So whenever the motion is uniform, then there will be no change in velocity. Velocity will be constant, so there will be no acceleration. But for non-uniform motion, we describe a term acceleration, and this is change in velocity upon time. So suppose the initial velocity is u, final velocity is v. So change in velocity is final minus initial. So v minus u, and upon t will give you acceleration. SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now graphical representation of motion. Here you have to watch this video for what is the graphical representation of physical quantity means.
Basically, a pictorial representation of physical quantities showing how different kinds of physical quantities are related to each other. There are different kinds of graph. When we consider only one number line, that is only one coordinate axis, it forms one-dimensional graph. And when we consider two number lines, that is two coordinate axes, such that horizontal number line is called x-axis and vertical number line is called y-axis, which forms two-dimensional graph. And similarly, if we consider three number lines, that is three coordinate axes, here all the three axes are mutually perpendicular to each other, such that they form x, y and z axis, called it as three-dimensional graph. Now comes the most important part, which is what is slope. Slope tells us how much steep or inclined a line is. More steeper is the line, more is the slope, and lesser is the steep, less is the slope. Now, the slope of the line can be calculated by two methods. The first method, here the slope is equals to change in y coordinate upon change in x coordinate. And the second method is, here the steepness of the line can be calculated by using a trigonometric ratio called it as tan theta. Tan theta is equals to length of the opposite side upon length of the adjacent side. Also, slope can be positive, negative, 0 or indefinite. If the change is taken in the upward direction or right side of the coordinate axis, then the change is taken as positive. Whereas, if the change is taken in the downward direction or in the left hand side of the coordinate axis, then the change is taken as negative, which is very important. Now, the first type. When the change in x and y coordinate axis are positive or both are negative, then the slope is positive. When any one coordinate, example x or y, the change in x or change in y, any one of them, if it is negative, then the slope is negative. If the change in y is 0, then the slope is 0. Here, the line is parallel to x-axis. Also, if the change in x is 0, then the slope is indefinite. We all know that numerator upon 0 is always indefinite, which cannot be defined. Here, the line is parallel to y-axis. Now, let us calculate the slope of line AB. Consider 2 points on the line AB. Say P and Q. Now, connect P and Q in such a way that it forms a right angle triangle at R. Here, the line PQ makes an angle theta with PR. Here, we should always note that angle should always be taken along the x-axis. Now, What is the formula of the slope? Yes, we know that slope is equals to change in y coordinate upon change in x coordinate. Here the change in y is 3 minus 2, which is equals to 1, and change in x axis is 5 minus 1 equals to 4, which is equals to 1 by 4. Hence the slope is 1 by 4. Here you should note that change should always be taken in one direction. Here the direction is P to R and R to Q. Also, the slope of the line AB can also be calculated by using the second method. Tan theta equals to length of opposite side upon length of adjacent side. The length of opposite side is 1 and the length of the adjacent side is 4. Hence, the slope of the line is 1 by 4. Whichever method you apply, we get the same answer. Now the question arises, why we should find the slope? To explain this, let me give you an example. Consider position time graph in which the line AB is drawn. Now, let us find the slope. Draw right angle triangle PQR. Now, the slope is equals to change in y upon change in x. Here, the change in y represents distance and change in x represents time. Now, what is distance by time? Yes, it is speed we have discussed earlier. Here, the slope of the line represents speed. That is, slope equals to speed and which is equals to distance by time. The slope of the line tells how distance is changing with time. Hence, slope tells us speed of the object.
Hello students, we have already studied motion. Now today we are going to study graphical representation of motion. Graphically we represent motion using distance time graph and velocity time graph. Today we will take distance time graph. Distance time graph is a graph in which we take time on x-axis and distance on y-axis. So there are three cases we are considering. First, when the body is at rest. When the body is at rest, at any time its distance will be same. So for 1 second the distance is suppose 40 meter. So after 1 second, that is 2 seconds also, the distance will be 40. For 3 seconds also, distance will be 40. So when we join these points, we get a straight line parallel to time axis. So this is the graph of body at rest. Distance time graph of body at rest. It is a straight line parallel to time axis. Now second case, uniform motion. We already know that uniform motion means body covered equal distance in equal interval of time. Suppose we have taken interval 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds and the distance 10, 20, 30, 40. Suppose the body is covering 10 meter in 1 second. So in next 1 meter it will cover 20. So in next it will cover 30 in 3 seconds, 40 in 4 seconds. So when you join all the points, you will get a straight line inclined to time axis. Here, when the body was at rest, distance time graph is a straight line parallel to time axis. Now here it is a straight line inclined to time axis. And third case, for non-uniform motion, we know that the body covers unequal distance in equal interval of time. So the graph is not a straight line. So with distance time graph, we can get these information. Distance time graph shows the change in position of an object with respect to time. Linear variation, whenever the variation is linear, straight line, then the motion is uniform. And whenever the curve is non-linear, curved, then it represents non-uniform motion. And the slope of distance time graph, which we have seen in the video, slope of the distance time graph gives speed. Now see this, watch this video for graphical representation of motion, velocity time graph. Velocity time.
Hello students, today we will study velocity time graph. Velocity time graph in which we take time on x-axis and velocity on y-axis. We are considering again three cases: when the body is at rest, for uniform motion and for non-uniform motion. We know when the body is at rest, the velocity is 0. Here velocity and speed are same for the straight line motion. So when the object is at rest, the velocity is 0. So whatever may be the time we are considering, the velocity is 0. So the graph is a straight line coinciding with time axis. So a graph of the body at rest is a straight line coinciding with the time axis. Now for uniform motion, we know that body is in uniform motion when the speed is constant or the velocity is constant. So suppose the velocity is 40 meter per second. So whatever may be the time we are considering, the velocity is 40 meter per second only. So the graph is a straight line parallel to time axis. So for uniform motion, velocity time graph is a straight line parallel to time axis. Now for non-uniform motion, there are 2-3 types of non-uniform motion. Firstly, uniform acceleration. When the speed is not uniform, it is called non-uniform motion. So the speed is changing, so there must be acceleration. We know acceleration is rate of change of velocity. So the velocity is not constant, so there is acceleration. So this acceleration may be uniform, may be non-uniform. When the acceleration is uniform, means there is equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. So the graph of this type of motion is a straight line inclined to time axis. So it is proportionate. Velocity and time are equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. So the acceleration is constant. Acceleration constant, A constant. So equal change in velocity in equal interval of time. So this type of graph we will get. And for other type of non-uniformly accelerated motion, the graph may be like this or may be like this.
So remember these points for velocity time graph. Velocity time graph shows the change in velocity with respect to time. Slope of velocity time graph is acceleration. And the area under the curve gives the displacement. And if VT graph is parallel to x-axis, means the velocity is constant. Now equations of motion. There are 3 equations of motion. First equation, V is equals to U plus AT. V square is equals to U square plus 2AS. S is equals to UT plus half AT square. The derivation of these equations I have already given in the previous video. You can watch that video and can understand. There are 2 methods to prove this: algebraic method and graphical method. So watch 2 videos. Now uniform circular motion. The last topic of this is uniform circular motion. When the body is moving in the circumference of circle, then the motion is said to be circular motion. Here the speed is constant, so it is called uniform circular motion. But the velocity is not constant because at every point the direction is changing. So here the speed is constant but the velocity is not constant when the body is moving in a circular motion. Now, these are the example of circular motion. All the artificial satellite move around the earth in a circular motion. When a stone is tied up with a rope and if it is drilled, then the stone is moving in a circular path. Motion of a clock hand is also circular. A car turning through a curved road is also an example of circular motion. Now this is all about motion. I hope you have understood this.